right, good morning, friends. Greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, simple, common sense. When you understand how the body works, you understand that this regenerating system is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call it a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. We want to help you change your life today. We want to help you change the lives of loved ones, friends, family members today by getting on a good nutritional supplement program, by understanding some of the logic about how the body works, by really working with the simplicity of the regenerating and healing system that's built into the human body. Nobody has to suffer with a chronic degenerative disease. Nobody. It is in the body's nature to heal and reverse, no matter what you heard. It is in the body's nature to heal and renew itself. And if you're on a prescription drug and your doctor has told you you'll be on a prescription drug for the rest of your life, friends, please understand that the body is a healing system without drugs, without doctor devices, without protocols, without medical strategies. It does it on its own, but it needs the raw materials to do its work. 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day. On the Bright Side, if you want to purchase any of the longevity products, you can call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or purchase products right off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And of course, if you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Treatment products, please go to truthtreatments.com and check out our Retinol 5% gel. You can sign up for a newsletter, and you can also check out my Facebook page, The Truth with Ben. I blog on both my Facebook page and my truthtreatments.com website. Okay, we're talking about the inflammatory process. We're talking about inflammation, anti-inflammation. These are so fundamental. These are inflammation is the preceding process to all diseases. All diseases follow excessive, out-of-kilter inflammation. Inflammation that's out of balance with anti-inflammation. They're both important. Inflammation is certainly important. You need inflammation. And the fact that inflammation is so important is why anti-inflammatory drugs are so toxic. Anti-inflammatory drugs, whether they're OTC, over-the-counter, or whether they're prescription, are among the most toxic drugs of all. They're subtly toxic, though. They're not like beta blocker toxic that just shut down your heart. They're not like calcium channel blocker. They're not like blood thinner. They're not that kind of toxicity, but they're still toxic, and they still have long-term deleterious negative health effects if you use them. Motrin, I'm talking, naproxen, Tylenol even, which isn't strictly, it doesn't work the same way as these other drugs. In any case, these anti-inflammatory drugs, if you're on them for long term, can cause kidney problems, can cause digestive and problems with the digestive tract. They can cause cardiovascular issues because the inflammatory process is not to be trifled with. If your body is inflaming, there's something going on. It's not to be shut down, with the exception of maybe for very short-term pain kind of issues. So inflammation and anti-inflammation are part of a system. They're both important, and they're both related. The health of both systems is related to toxicity and nutrition. That's really where we want to be working. If we're inflaming, if we've got an inflammatory problem that's leading to pain, or even if it's not, we'll talk about blood inflammation here in a moment. If you have any inflammatory issue, you got to first look at what's getting into the blood that's toxing it out, what's freaking it out. What's getting into the system, i.e. the blood, that's freaking out the blood, that's causing the activation of the inflammatory system. And nutritional deficiencies count as a type of toxicity. Why? Because nutrition is important for cleaning things out. And when you hear about toxicity and nutrition and inflammation, you want to think ultimate EFAs, essential fatty acids and fats. These are the molecules of inflammation. These are the molecules of anti-inflammation, i.e., they're synonymous. EFAs, ultimate EFAs are synonymous with inflammation and anti-inflammation. And I know some of you guys out there are thinking, okay, that's arthritis. That's joint pain. And that's true. Those are inflammatory. But heart disease is inflammatory. Diabetes is inflammatory. Certainly blood clotting is inflammatory, and everything follows blood clotting. All health issues follow some kind of sticky, coagulated blood. What we're talking about here when we talk about the importance of the essential fatty acids to the inflammatory process is we're talking about the EFAs as important for everything. They're so unbelievably multifunctional. Essential fatty acids are a storage form of energy. They're a key structural components of the cell. And when you're deficient in your ultimate EFAs, when you're not taking your ultimate EFAs, cells don't get built correctly. When you don't have enough of these ultimate EFAs, omega-3s and omega-6s in your blood, your body is going to try to make cells out of pizza, out of mozzarella fat, out of whatever fat it could find, chocolate, hydrogenated fat, whatever fat, French fry fat, potato chip fat. You're going to have potato chip cells. You're going to have French fry cells. You're going to have Hershey's chocolate cells. And that is not a functional cell, a Hershey's chocolate cell. And what ends up happening then is the body goes, bing, red alert, we got an enemy. We got a chocolate cell. We got a mozzarella cell. Kill that thing. And when it happens a lot, it kills it a lot. Now you got a bunch of dead cells around. You see how this works, folks? And when we don't understand this just simple, it really isn't complicated. This very basic idea, we're going to go running to the doctor, and the doctor who is typically unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, your doctor is nearly as biochemically ignorant as we are. Yes, because he listens to the drug companies. He gets his health information, not all doctors, but a lot of them, from the salesman, from the drug company salesman. He gets the information from the research that's promoted by the drug companies. And he learns about it on his cruise or his Hawaiian trip that he goes on. That's where they have these classes to teach people about blood thinners. Why do you think blood thinning is such a huge market? Listen, a blood thinning drug is nothing but an anti-inflammatory for the blood. If you believe in taking anti-inflammatories, then get on your blood thinner. But if you believe, as most of you do, that there are nutritional strategies and there are reasons why the blood is thick and clotted and inflamed, you don't need a blood thinner. You need EFAs. You need to figure out why the blood is toxic. So EFAs do lots of things. They're a storage form of energy. They go to make cells. They go to keep the cells liquidy and responsive. Under conditions of deficiencies, we get Hershey bar cells, and that leads to anything you can think of because now you got dead. The body's going to kill those cells. That means cancer. Yes, cancer. Cancer is connected to essential fatty acid deficiency. Why? Because without EFAs, you get dysfunctional cells. The cells don't know what to do. Cancer is a coping mechanism for cells that don't know what else to do, largely because of dysfunctional membranes, largely because of EFA deficiency. Listen, if you're not supplementing with an essential fatty acid, you're not getting it in food, folks. There ain't a lot of EFAs in foods, that's for sure. You'll get some if you're really conscientious, super conscientious about how you eat. But for most of us, if you're not supplementing with your ultimate EFAs, you're running higher risks for every single disease you can name. That includes cancer. And by the way, cancer is not necessarily a doctor issue either. Chemotherapy, we have this idea about chemotherapy, how magnificent it is. It ain't magnificent aside from the fact that you deal with toxicity. It doesn't even work most of the time. That's why they have to use 5-year survival rates. You're lucky if you can make it 5 years after cancer with a chemotherapy, or for that matter, any medical strategy for dealing with cancer. Cancer doesn't happen to us. It happens within us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Back to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open for you. Try to call in early. It's first come, first serve, and we do have lines open at 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, or if you want to join the Bright Side Ben team and help me in my mission to educate the world about how powerful and important a nutritional supplement program can be. Doesn't this stuff make sense? Have I said anything that's not common sense or that's difficult to understand or that you can disagree with? Doesn't this stuff just make sense? Doesn't it make sense that if you're not supplementing with a nutritional supplement program and you're not eating super 100% conscientiously, where you pay attention to every single molecule that goes in your mouth practically, doesn't it just make sense that you're going to be sick? Doesn't it just make sense that the body is not going to have the raw materials it needs to do its work? If this message is logical to you, and you're dealing with a chronic degenerative disease, or you know somebody who is, please share this information. Share this radio program. Get them to the archives. And get on a good nutritional supplement program yourself and demonstrate. And see for yourself. Demonstrate to others and see for yourself how powerful, how unbelievably powerful it can be for supporting the body's ability to reverse pain, misery, inflammation, awful skin, predilection or tendency to the disease process. 844-236-6010 is our number today. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the Truth Treatment products, please head to truthtreatments.com and take a look at our retinol 5% gel made with 5% retinol, a bunch of vitamin C, my fatty acid, transdermal matrix, and that's it. No oil, no wax, no filler, never preservatives or fragrances. It may seem expensive to pay $189 for a 1-ounce jar of retinol 5% cream, but guess what? It's going to last you 6 months or more. Guess what? You can use it to really, truly improve the condition of your skin. Not pretend, not where you rub something on your skin and you feel the product and think you've done something to your skin, but for reals. Yes, for reals, as Ali G would say. Hyperpigmentation, boom, gone. Zits, boom, gone. Especially if you catch them early enough. Anti-aging, fine lines and wrinkles, boom, gone. Not because of me, but because of retinol. Because that's how the body works. That's the beauty of nutrition. It's not because of me, it's because of nutrition. If we're sick, if we're not feeling as well as we should be or would be or could be, guaranteed it's something that we're doing. Guaranteed, well, I shouldn't say that. For the most part, it's something we're doing. Occasionally there's things that happen to us. Cancer, by the way, doesn't happen to us. It happens within us. And Cancer Treatments of America and cancer commercials and drug companies, and they all want us to think that somehow we're attacked by a cancer alien. We're not attacked by a cancer alien. A cancer cell is a cell that doesn't know what else to do. It's reverted back to a primitive way of dividing. And anybody who tells you we don't know what causes cancer is a bonehead. We certainly do know what causes cancer. It's a defective cell that has now become a group of defective cells because that cell is divided. But why is it defective? It's not even really defective. It's just coping. It's in survival mode, much like we are. You know, when we're psychologically dysfunctional, and nobody could argue that as a race, the human race is not psychologically dysfunctional. There's a reason for it. It's not like we're sick. It's like we're coping. People who commit heinous crimes are in their own way just coping. They're in survival mode. Well, our cells are the same way. Cancer is a cell that's just coping. It's reverted back to a primitive way of dividing, which mandates and requires it to divide rapidly. This is what cancer is. A cell that has reverted back to a primitive way of being, an ancient, billions of years old way of being, called where it uses energy in a way that, in a process that we refer to as fermentation. Ordinary cells burn fats. Cancer cells burn sugars primarily. And that's a much less efficient way of getting energy, but it's the only thing it can do because it's starving and it's suffocating and it's toxic. Cancer is something, and I'm not beating the victim up here. And I know I'm on thin ice, but I'm sorry, I got to be real. I can't be dishonest with you. And you know, there's a lot of, unfortunately, misguided alternative practitioners out there talking about killing cancer also. You don't kill cancer because you're killing yourself. Now, if you're in stage 4 cancer where it's at the end, that's different. Then you got to do what you got to do. But if you're at stage 1 or stage 2, or ideally to prevent it, the strategy is to help the body deal with it. The body, listen up, this is so powerful. The body and cells are exquisitely protected to fight cancer, or designed to fight cancer, to protect themselves from cancer. There are chemicals and molecules in every cell that is anti-cancer. And if you take the inside part of a healthy cell, it's called the cytoplasm. Cyto means cell, plasma means stuff. If you take the cell stuff from the middle of a healthy cell and stick it in a cancer cell, that cancer cell dies. Yes, you have chemotherapy, natural chemotherapy in your cells, in a healthy cell, but a cancer cell has switched all these systems off. So essential fatty acids, vitamin C, staying away from sugar as best as we can, more protein, relaxing the body, everything we talk about in this program, digestive health, blood sugar health, thyroid health. By the way, I did a little video on the triangle of disease. Check out criticalhealthnews.com or subscribe to the newsletter. We do them myself and my friend John T. Collier do them every couple of weeks or so. That's how you deal with cancer. The same way you deal with arthritis, the same way you deal with acne, the same way you deal with heart disease. Everything. Now, once you have stage 1 or stage 2, you just got to be more vigilant about it. If you're in stage 3 or 4, or, if you've got raging cancer metastasized all over your body, that's different. But if you're in stage 1 or 2 where it's local, your job is to protect and help the body take care of it. Immediately go on the ketogenic diet. This is just my opinion, you guys. Immediately go on the ketogenic diet. Fast. Reduce the inflammatory process. And of course, when it comes to inflammation, nothing is more important than the molecules of inflammation, your essential fatty acids, which, not surprisingly, the omega-3s have been shown to be anti-cancer. One of the most significant places and one of the most underappreciated places where this inflammatory process shows up is in the blood. And I know I talked about it last week, and I'll talk about it. I'm going to continue talking about it. I remember reading an article a couple of years ago in a pharmacy trade journal. I like reading pharmacy trade journals. I get a bunch of them, U.S. Pharmacist and American Pharmacist and Pharmacy Times, etc. I remember reading an article, I don't remember from which magazine. It talked about, it was an interview. This is so evil. It was an interview with a drug company president who was practically drooling through the magazine. You could feel his drool coming through the article about how excited he was about the blood anticoagulant market, the new blood thinning market, and all the new drugs that were going to be coming out. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. All the new wonderful drugs that were going to be coming out to help people with their coagulated blood, and how much money was to be made. According to Trimark Publications, a company that produces market journals for various markets and a lot for the drug market, $2,500 a pop, by the way. Their newly published new oral anticoagulant market report says that you've got a $24 billion market. $24 billion market by 2019. You don't think that these drug companies are interested in maintaining our sticky, coagulated, clotted blood and keeping us on these things? Xarelto and Eliquis and Pradaxa, and used to be just warfarin. Now, have you seen how many are out now? That's because we have an epidemic of dirty blood, because we have an epidemic of of clotted blood. But that is not a problem, because the good news is we're in charge of our blood. There's only one person in charge of our blood, and that is us, largely through the foods we're eating. And that's good news if you're dealing with a chronic degenerative disease. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. Got lines open for you, 844-236-6010. Hang tight if you're on hold. We'll get to you here momentarily. If you're interested in purchasing any of my Truth Skin Health products, head over to truthtreatments.com. Check out our Retinol 5% gel and all our vitamin C products. You can also sign up for a newsletter and also just check out our blog. You can also check out my blog at The Truth with Ben. That's my skin health blog. You can also check out my general health blog at pharmacistben.com and criticalhealthnews.com, where you can purchase longevity products or sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team. Have you been following all the political stuff? I don't know. I know some of my listeners some of you guys are politically minded. I follow it. I don't take it seriously. I just find it historically interesting and somewhat entertaining. Used to be a little more entertaining. Now it's getting to be kind of serious. But you notice all the presidential candidates are all about health care. They all want everybody to have health care. Even the Republicans want everybody to have health care. But when they say health care, you know what they mean? They mean the right to go to your doctor. When Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, they're the most egregious violators. but they're all the same. I don't even want to pick on those guys. But when they talk about everybody having the right to health care, what they're talking about is everybody getting the right to drugs, everybody getting the right to have a colonoscopy, everybody getting the right to have a checkup with the doctor, because these guys don't know anything about health or how the body works. When was the last time you heard a presidential candidate say, everybody's going to be guaranteed vitamin C? Everybody is going to be guaranteed a rebounder in their living room. Everybody's going to be guaranteed a nutritional supplement program. Everybody's going to be guaranteed a $100 monthly stipend, $150 monthly stipend to get on auto ship with longevity. When I hear a presidential candidate talking about guaranteed rights to nutritional supplementation, then I'm going to take it seriously. Not guaranteed rights to get your prescription drugs, guaranteed rights for the government to pay. Bernie Sanders is all about, we should have, it's unconscionable how expensive drugs are. They should be cheap. They should be free. We're going to make them free. We're not going to, we pay the highest, 25% higher rates for our drugs than any other company. That's not right. We should have them free. We should have all the drugs. This is how they think of healthcare. This is the world we're living in. This is the meme, M-E-M-E, the meme that has been crafted for us by people who benefit, of course. Not for us. It ain't for our mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and children. Trust me. I was part of it. I'm still technically part of it as a registered pharmacist. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about blood inflammation, possibly the single most important idea, the single most important health strategy of all health strategies, to thin, to liquefy, to improve the cleanliness, to detoxify the blood, to improve its ability to oxygenate cells, to feed cells, and to detoxify them. 844-236-6010 is our number. Welcome to the Bright Side, Mark. What's going on, buddy?
Yes, hi. I wanted to ask about acne that's like deep in the skin.
Yes, that's good news. That's the best kind of acne because it's the easiest one to resolve. You know, I don't know. Is it for you, Mark, by the way?
Yeah. Yes.
How old are you, bro?
40.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So you got you got more than that. You got other things going on there. So here's the deal with the body. The more messed up, freaked out, the sicker the body is, the easier it is to turn things around. Now, it may take you longer to completely resolve it, but to notice results, to get dramatic, visible results for you and for other people when you have deep acne, or when you have a lot of weight to lose, or when you have a serious autoimmune disease, this is good news, because the body is so beautiful and it wants to be healthy so badly that the more weight we need to lose, the faster it comes off. The worse our skin is, the faster it improves. The more dramatic our symptoms are, the more profound our symptomology, the quicker it resolves. So as far as what you're calling cystic acne, that is, you're developing these pockets of dead cells and immunity and whatever the attacking agent is, oils, underneath the skin. And if you press, I take it you feel a little bit of pain, correct? If you press on one of them? Yes. Because there's a lot of nerves in there. Now, are they hard or are they softer?
Hard.
Hard. Okay, good. All right, so you're 40. This should not happen at the age of 40. If you were younger, I would tell you, and it shouldn't happen anyway, but if you're younger, I would tell you immediately go look for problems with your digestive system, particularly processing milk and processing gluten may be involved as well. But because you're older, you got a lot more stuff going on. So here's what you need to do, Mark. Guaranteed 100%. There's other things happening in your body. You cannot have a significant skin condition, which is what you're describing, without having other symptoms. If you don't know you have them, you got to find them. We got to put together a picture of what's happening in your system, and to do that, you need at least 3 points. I call that triangulation. You need to triangulate. You have to have 3 points in your body where things are messed up so that we can get a little picture of what's happening. The more points, the better. Typically what's going to happen, and this is typically, but I'd like to have some more points, it's a problem processing fats and fatty foods, and it may now be involve your fatty hormone system. All right, does any of this sound like it might be familiar to you or something? Is it ringing a bell at all?
No, but I am overweight.
Okay, well, that's, no worries. We'll take care of that as well. How's your hair?
Hair is fine, but I have a lot of dandruff.
Okay, bingo. here's what you need to do. And dandruff is another fatty issue, and overweight could definitely be a problem processing fats. So you're dealing more than likely, those are three good points. You're dealing more than likely with a problem with your liver and your gallbladder and your intestine in that area, although at this point it's gone into a lot of other issues. Right away, you need to do a food diary, Mark. Right away, today. If you're serious about this. And by the way, Mark, you can be a new man in 30 days. You can start to notice dramatic results, dramatic, visible results in 7, and you can start the process immediately. Okay? And that's what you're going to do food diary. If you can fast, that's ideal. If you can't fast, eat as normal, but write down everything you're eating. But it would help to be not to use complicated foods. Eat foods that only have one working part. So instead of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just have peanuts. Instead of a big old salad, just have celery. Instead of some kind of fancy fish dish, just have a piece of fish. You follow me?
Okay.
So that will help you isolate the problems. But more than likely, they're going to be in the fatty area, fatty foods. That's first of all. Secondly, get on the best probiotic you can find. You know I love the Biolumin Nightly Essence. You can find that from Youngevity. Start taking 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and 3 at night. If you can, aside from your food diary and eat the way you're eating is normal, if you can start to do some vegetable juices, that will help you. And you'll notice that the vegetable juices are extremely filling, and that will help you with your food elimination. That's going to support food elimination. Does that make sense, bro? Mark?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, good. There's more. There's way more. Get on the Ultimate EFAs right away. And when you're taking your Ultimate EFAs, take them with food, and make sure you're taking them with your Ultimate enzymes and some apple cider vinegar. Because remember, you're not processing fats. We need to support fat processing. All right? Now, there's some micronutrients that are going to be of absolute importance. I can't hear the music, by the way, if you can hear me, Keith. There's some micronutrients, vitamins and minerals that are absolutely important. And I will tell you what those are when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Got lines open for you, 844-236-6010. And if you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you when we come back. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for joining us today. If you have a health challenge you want help dealing with, if you have a loved one who's got a health challenge and you want to help them deal with it, give us a shout. 844-236-6010 is our number. You know what? If you have a health challenge, you have a loved one who has a health challenge, you could feel, sometimes we feel like it's just us, but there's lots of people with health challenges. In fact, throughout history, a lot of celebrities have had health challenges. And tomorrow we're going to be talking to Claudia Kalb, author of a book called Andy Warhol Was a Hoarder Inside the Minds of History's Great Personalities. Apparently, George Gershwin had attention deficit disorder. Check this out. Albert Einstein apparently was an autistic. Charles Darwin had clinical anxiety. Marilyn Monroe was a borderline personality. They call it borderline personality disorder. The famous Russian author Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky, was a compulsive gambler. We're going to be talking to Claudia Kalb about some of the health challenges confronted by some of history's greatest names. We'll do that tomorrow on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking to who we got on the line here, Keith? Help me out here. Carl. Oh, no, not Carl. Did you let go of the other guy? Andy, I think it was. Did we lose Andy? Let me see here. Sorry about that. We're going to talk about... Oh, we lost Andy. All right. So I was going to tell Andy, if he's listening, micronutrients are very important for acne as well, for cystic acne. Zinc, 50 milligrams a day. Hope you're listening, Andy, because this is some good stuff. Anybody dealing with acne, zinc, 50 milligrams a day. For Andy... I think his name was Andy in Austin. He was having a problem with fat metabolism, so make sure you're taking your zinc and your selenium, about 600 micrograms a day, with your essential fatty acids and fatty foods, as well as your ultimate enzymes and apple cider vinegar. I personally would throw in some lecithin and bile salts, all in the interest of helping your body process fats. Vitamin E, stupendously important, 400 international units a day. I'd be using NAC, about 600 milligrams a day of NAC, NAC. And then, see if you want to throw in a couple other things. Vitamin A, 20,000 international units a day. And make sure you're getting beautiful beautiful sunshine. Super important for healing the skin. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Carl, the Truth Raider. What's up, Carl? How you doing, man?
I'm hanging in there. It is sunshiny, absolutely here today, so I'm going to go out after, immediately done with this phone call, and go out and get some sun rays. Absolutely.
Okay. Okie dokie. Okay.
Anyway, this call is about contributing to the conversation.
Yes, sir.
And I have two questions. I'll try to get through this really quick. This is my commentary on what's going on.
Which part? Commentary on what? No.
The medical model. The medical model is a conspiracy to ecoscience and eugenics for the culling of all people to be trapped in the allopathic medical model. That's the purpose of what's going on. And
population control, is that what I'm hearing you say?
Population control, what do you call it, the sickening of people, the conspiracy to keep people attached to the medical model for financial gain, et cetera.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that necessarily, but who's responsible for that?
Well, you really want to know?
No, I do know. I do know. Okay. No, I do know. I don't mean who's responsible for the medical model. Who's responsible for the impact of the medical model? It's not the medical model. It's us.
Well,
it's us.
Yes.
Remember Pogo? Did you ever see Pogo? Did you ever read Pogo, Carl?
No, I don't think so, but I think
he was a cartoon. He said Pogo was a cartoon. It's not been written anymore. He had a famous quote: "I have seen the enemy, and he is us." Yes, he is us. I've seen the enemy, and he is us, and we're complicit. So, yes, it's true. The medical model and the powers that be, whatever that means, are interested in, like you say, eugenics and population control and all of that. But ultimately, we have a responsibility here. And that's what this is really all about. It doesn't do us any good to rail against the pharmacomedical model, in my opinion. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's the ignorance. It's the ignorance of the population is what it is. And you're there to break that. Dr. Wallach is there to do that. Peter Glidden's doing that. Corey Gold and many other great doctors out there are trying to do that with their radio programs.
Yes.
Rather to waken the people up.
Yes.
Anyway, that's my commentary. That's my contribution to
Thank you, Carl.
Now, I have two questions. You're welcome.
Yes.
Sucralose, for one. Let's talk for a minute about sucralose, and I have a second question.
Sucralose is fake sugar. You don't need fake sugar. If you're going to do sugar. Fake sugar has to be processed by the body as a toxin. Now, they do studies, and they'll tell you they know it's safe, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is it's safe given the body's ability to detoxify. It's not safe given the body's ability or given the lack of the body's ability to detoxify because it's overwhelmed. And this is what's missed whenever they do studies on the safety of chemicals and the safety of food additives and the safety of GMOs and the safety of all the crap they're feeding us. This is what's missed. And the safety of drugs, by the way. If you have a compromised ability to clean the thing out, to clean the drugs out or the sucralose out or whatever it is, then it's not safe. And most of us are compromised in that way. So if you're going to do sugar, just do sugar. It's hard to say. And I get this question a lot. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. What you really want to do is resensitize your body to sweet taste. So it doesn't take as much sweetness. You don't need as big a hit of sweetness in order to get that pleasure, that dopamine, and it's neurotransmitters in the brain. We're hooked on sugar because we get a hit of pleasure. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a brain chemical that's responsible for pleasure. And boom, you eat sugar, dopamine goes up, and you get pleasure. Reward. It's a special kind of pleasure from sugar. It's called reward. It's like you've been rewarded. Like you get Can you imagine this? You know how good we feel when we win the lottery, we win a prize? That's neurochemical. That's dopamine hitting a part of your brain that's called the reward center that makes you go yippee skippy. I won. And this is what happens yesterday. The Broncos won here in Denver, and there were riots in the street. Talk about dopamine. Oh, my God. There was so much pleasure associated with the team winning. It's the same idea. We seek sugar. We seek pleasure. We seek reward. We're reward-seeking machines, and sucralose hits that reward center as much as sugar. And what we want to do is not so much beat up on sucralose or sugar for that matter, but resensitize ourselves to the sweetness, to the sweet taste, so we feel a reward at a lower threshold. And that's done by caloric restriction. That's done by restricting intake of sweet foods. Here's a trick for you. If you're hooked on sugar, or you're hooked on sweet foods, or you're hooked on bread, do this, okay? Indulge, have your bread, or whatever it is, pasta, pie, potatoes, whatever you like, but eat it and then stop about halfway through. All right? And then give your chemistry a chance to catch up, and you'll notice in 20 minutes you forgot all about it because the chemistry has caught up with your stomach. the biochemistry of satisfaction has caught up with the food in your stomach. When we eat really fast, we don't give it a chance to catch up, and then we don't know we ate too much until it's too late, a half hour after we finished our meal. Hey, Carl, I gotta motivate. Can you call back tomorrow, bro? I want to get to this one last call here. I got one last call.
Yeah, I'll give you the next question tomorrow.
Okay, good deal. Good to talk to you, Carl. Thanks, buddy. Oh, Jasmine, I just hung up on you. Call back, Jasmine. I apologize. I hit the wrong button. So, Jasmine, call back. I'll get you up here. David in Texas, what's going on, man?
Yeah, hey, good morning, Ben. This is David. I've talked to you a few times. I've got Graves. And,
hey, David.
Anyway, I got a question for you.
Yeah?
Last week, a coworker of mine had a mild stroke at work. He actually came out, asked for my help. I called 911, got him to the hospital. However, he's back to work, and kind of was explaining the regimen that he's been put on. And
for a stroke, you're talking?
He had a mild stroke. I am a distributor of the MGW product.
Nice. Here, get him on the. Let me give you the quick answer because we're going to run out of time here. Okay. Healthy Start Pack right away. This is for anybody dealing with a cardiovascular issue, with a stroke issue. It's the same. You're just going to hear me repeating myself. Make sure you're using the Healthy Start Pack. That goes without saying. You want to keep the blood clean as you can. That means correct any digestive issues, do a food diary, eliminate problem foods. Fucoid Z, by the way, is seaweed. It's a fucoid and brown algae, is a wonderful way to clean the blood. It's a wonderful way to thin the blood. Get them on the Fucoid Z. I like it better than the Z Radical. Use 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 at night, 9 a day. And 9 a day on the Nightly Essence also. Use the Ultimate Enzymes on an empty stomach as well as with meals. Ultimate Enzymes on an empty stomach will thin the blood. With meals, of course, it'll help you digest your food. Get to the health food store. Get vitamin E, 400 IU a day. David, I'm gonna cut you off here. Can you listen on the radio, David?
Absolutely will.
Okay, good to talk to you, man. Hey, Jasmine. Got Jasmine here, I think. Oh,
yes,
Jasmine. Okay, so you wanted to talk about a stroke too, didn't you?
I did. More importantly, what actually dissolves the clots in my brain? Because that's where my problem is. It's really
Ultimate Enzymes, digestive enzymes is what you want to use, and stay away from problem foods. Jasmine, I'm going to go.
How long before I have an MRI?
You're going to have to call back because we're just out of time here. I want to get a couple more things for David that I promised. And Jasmine, for you too. Chelation therapy. Chelation therapy. You can do it at a naturopath or chiropractors where they do it IV, or you can do it orally by using chelating agents, including seaweed, NAC, which is N-acetylcysteine, selenium, vitamin C, stupendous chelating agent, not to mention bentonite clay, and also zeolite. And that's all the time we have for today. I apologize, you guys. Call back tomorrow. 844-236-6010. Have yourselves a spectacular, beautiful, awesome day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.